My name is Steven Anderson. I'm 22 years old, and I am a big fan of Marvel. I really like Marvel because, unlike its DC counterpart, where most superheroes and villains come from a mutation type, well, not mutation, but like creative type of stuff where, like, you have Joker and Harley Quinn and all Batman villains that are kind of created and mutated as well. Marvel focuses more on more aliens, and obviously, DC still has aliens and everything, but Marvel has what it feels like a lot more implementation of like superheroes are more natural. Which makes it a little bit easier to read, in my opinion. That and all, it's also most of the time very lighthearted as well. And I love DC Comics, I really do. In fact, most of the comics I own are Batman novels. But most of the time when I'm not looking for something that's gonna bog me down or make me want to die, I'm gonna usually go to Marvel. For the comics, there's a lot more diversity in them, and they also are generally better. At least the mainstream ones are generally better than most Marvel movies.
Why do you say that?
Just because they're very well done. The writers have been working on them for longer than the MCU has been around, so there's a lot more experience going into them. No. I really, well, I do and I don't. They have a lot of good characters that are in implementation right now. I'm a little bit disappointed with how, I've never really liked Ms. Marvel, but the show wasn't that great, and the She-Hulk series hasn't been going the best. I just feel that it hasn't had a solid direction going forward yet. I know they're having to get a lot of setup out of the way for everything, but I'm also an impatient guy, and we've had a huge success with the previous MCU time or storyline. It just kind of feels like we're falling behind on good plot. I would definitely put Ghost Rider in it. Ghost Rider's a really cool character. I have a very big liking for Ghost Rider now, and since they're going more of this supernatural route, putting Ghost Rider in there, along with the X-Men, of course, too, because I would love to see an X-Men reboot. Done well, of course. Oh, my sister Susan. Me and her are both huge comic book nerds. We're kind of sticklers when it comes to, the movies and TV shows that Marvel puts out now, just because we both really enjoy the comic books and love the source material that it comes from. We're not super knowledgeable on everything, but we don't know comic stories very well, but we know our characters and how they should act and everything like that. So I love talking to Susan about it. She's always usually my go-to. That, and also my sister Maggie. Most of my brothers enjoy it too, but most of the time I talk to Susan because me and her are pretty close. Oh, I do know this. It's not Captain America. So my favorite Marvel character growing up was Cyclops from the X-Men. And that's because we used to watch, as kids, we used to watch the animated X-Men series that I think came out in 2008. But it always came on and show, and Cyclops was always the coolest one, I thought. Now it's changed to Doctor Strange as my favorite character.
Why is that?
Just because I really like the magic aspect of it, along with his, he has some of the coolest abilities and comic lines and team ups and such like that, and I really just enjoy his character a lot. MODOK. It's still MODOK. I don't like MODOK. He's really lame. Depends on what they like in superheroes. Every Marvel superhero, if you're talking about comics, has their own sort of personality that shines through. Like, if you're not into a whole bunch of like, you know, dark broody themes, or more on like, you know, a little bit more like, hey, I'm just helping to help, like Captain America comics are great. If you prefer more sci-fi stuff, the Iron Man's comics are fantastic, so is Black Panther. More of magic stuff would be stuff like Doctor Strange. If you want more space-themed stuff, there's always the Guardians, there's Nova, there's always the mutants, and honestly, I would highly recommend starting off with the X-Men, just in a general sense, because you get a good basis for everything. There's mystic powers, there's like genetic mutations, obviously, with them being mutants, there's space travel, there's magic in it, magic per se. So it's all a good roundabout way of starting there. Just for, like, you know, someone who's starting off looking at Marvel.
Mm-hmm.